Hey there, marvelous viewers! Today we are diving headfirst into the digital realm's most daunting and challenging opponents. That's right, we are rolling out the top 50 hardest and strongest bosses in video games explored. From the controller-clenching showdowns of Elden Ring to the old-school challenges of Punch-Out, we've rummaged through gaming's annals to bring you the ultimate lineup of bosses that pushed us to our limits. So grab your gear and let's jump into this epic adventure through gaming's toughest challenges.
I am Melania, Blade of Mikola.
Elden Ring, Melania. In Elden Ring, you go into a massive, mysterious world called the Lands Between, where your mission is to fix the shattered Elden Ring and claim the title of Elden Lord. This game is all about freedom and challenge. You get to roam around in third person, checking out all sorts of places from grassy plains to creepy dungeons, all while riding your trusty steed, Torrent. The gameplay is a mix of intense fights, sneaky strategies and magic. You'll find yourself swapping between swords and spells, trying to outsmart and overpower some seriously tough enemies. And if you're feeling social or competitive, jump into the online mode to team up with or take on other players. Now let's talk about Melania, the boss who's become almost legendary for being so tough. She's not just any enemy, she's a demigod with a two-phase battle that will test everything you've got. What makes her so hard? Well, she hits like a truck, and to make things worse, she heals every time she lands a hit on you. So it's not just about attacking, it's about mastering the art of dodging and timing your moves perfectly. Playing this one is like going on an epic adventure where every victory feels earned, and facing off against Melania is like the ultimate boss battle you'd brag about to your friends. It's tough, sure, but oh so satisfying when you finally beat her. In the world of video games, Elden Ring is a wild, challenging ride that's worth it. God of War, Sigrun, the Valkyrie Queen. Next up is the God of War franchise, and here players follow Kratos, a Spartan warrior turned God of War, on his brutal path of vengeance and redemption across various mythologies. The series is known for its intense action-adventure gameplay, combining hack-and-slash combat with puzzle-solving and platforming elements. Players wield the iconic blades of chaos, among other mythical weapons, to battle gods and monsters alike. But above all, facing Valkyrie Queen Sigrun ranks as one of the toughest challenges. She embodies the combined powers of all Valkyries, unleashing a deadly arsenal from Gunnar's scythe swipes to Gondol's meteors. Players must constantly adapt, maintaining a precision and vigilance against her unpredictable assaults. Sigrun's chain attacks and aerial dives demand quick reflexes and strategic use of health and rage resources. Defeating her is a grueling test of endurance, strategy, and skill, making victory over this enemy a deeply rewarding experience and solidifies her status as one of gaming's most formidable bosses.
Good day for us. Well done. Now go.
Cuphead, King Dice. Next is Cuphead, the game that is super challenging in itself and known for cat-like reflexes and a sense of timing. So what is it about? Brothers Cuphead and Mugman, after losing a bet with the devil, go on a perilous journey to collect soul contracts from various debtors to save their souls. The game is set in a whimsical 1930s cartoon universe and features run-and-gun gameplay, with a heavy emphasis on boss battles. Players navigate through beautifully hand-drawn levels using a variety of weapons and abilities to defeat difficult enemies. Now let's talk about King Dice. He creates unforgettable toughness in the game due to his unique board game battle, where players have to first navigate through and defeat a series of mini-bosses. Each mini-boss has distinct patterns and attacks, requiring players to adapt quickly. The final confrontation with King Dice involves dodging a relentless march of parryable cards, demanding precise timing and quick reflexes. The combination of enduring multiple battles and the final test of parrying skills makes King Dice really one of the most difficult adversaries to overcome. Dark Souls, Ornstein and Smoke. This one's exciting. Dark Souls offers players to explore the dark medieval kingdom of Lordran as cursed undead characters on a pilgrimage to discover their fate. The game is a third-person action RPG known for its intricate level design and deep combat system, encouraging exploration and cautious progression through a continuous, interconnected environment. Players face challenging enemies and bosses using a mix of melee attacks, defensive maneuvers, and magic. The innovative bonfire system serves as checkpoints, restoring health but respawning enemies. Now, coming to the fight against Ornstein and Smoke. There is no doubt that it's extremely difficult to go against them due to their complementary abilities and attack patterns. Ornstein is quick and agile, using lightning attacks and wide-reaching spear thrusts, while Smoke is slower but incredibly powerful, dealing devastating damage with his massive hammer. When one is defeated, the other absorbs their power, becoming even stronger and gaining new, more lethal attacks. This requires players to master dodging and timing, and also get a strong understanding of strategic targeting while managing two threats simultaneously, making it a true test of skill and patience. Overall, when you overcome these, you get a deeply rewarding experience for those who conquer trials and truly feel worthy of the win. Orphan of Kos, Bloodborne. Bloodborne is a relentless, heart-pounding battle that'll test your skills to the max. In this game, players navigate the gothic city of Yharnam, afflicted by a bloodborne disease turning residents into beasts. As a hunter, they unravel the city's mysteries and combat horrific creatures. The game, set in a third-person perspective, emphasizes strategic, weapons-based combat and exploration. Players customize their hunter, engage in fast-paced battles, and explore interconnected areas. The gameplay involves a risk and reward system with the ability to recover health through quick counterattacks. Now let's focus on the antagonist, who is responsible for many sleepless nights among the players. The Orphan, of course, is the final boss of the Old Hunters DLC, born from the Great One, Kos. This aggressive and highly mobile boss has two phases, starting with a diverse range of attacks and then transforming to become larger and even more unpredictable. Players must adapt to its erratic movements and powerful strikes, making the fight a relentless test of skill and endurance. The Orphan, of course, is a haunting embodiment of the game's themes of birth and the grotesque, providing a brutally challenging yet deeply memorable experience. Fighting the Orphan of Kos in Bloodborne is like going toe-to-toe with a whirlwind of rage. This guy is all over the place, launching into you with crazy fast attacks, and then morphing into an even wilder version with moves that'll have you sweating bullets. You'll have to dodge like a pro and hit back when you can, all the while keeping an eye out for those brutal lightning strikes.
Skolas, the fallen, kill of killers.
Skolas, Destiny. In Destiny, you're a guardian, kicking alien butt and protecting the last safe city on Earth. The game is a wild mix of shooting and space magic, where you are always jumping into either solo or team-up missions, or duking it out with other players. People dig it for the intense action and the cool sci-fi vibe, though some wish the story was a bit meatier. But who is the antagonist that takes our peace of mind in the game? Skolas, the big bad Kell of Kells. He's a real pain to take down. This guy teleports around like nobody's business, blasts you with his shrapnel launcher and scorch cannon, and calls in his buddies to join the chaos. Oh, and watch out for his nasty trick, devouring essence, that can wipe out your whole squad if you're not careful. Taking him down is all about staying on your toes, working as a team, and being ready for anything he throws at you. Dark Souls 3, The Nameless King. Here we have Dark Souls 3, where you are in the kingdom of Lothric, where the first flame is dying out, and it's up to the Ashen One to return the Lords of Cinder to their thrones and decide the fate of the flame. The gameplay is all about Tough love, and you will face brutal enemies and bosses in a beautifully grim world, using a mix of melee, magic, and sheer willpower to survive. It is a third-person action RPG that's as rewarding as it is punishing. Coming to the part where players are challenged by the Nameless King, he is like trying to dance in a thunderstorm. This guy comes at you on a dragon, throwing lightning and swooping attacks, and then dismounts to go mano a mano with terrifying speed and power. His attacks are relentless, his health pool's huge, and just when you think you've got his moves down, he switches it up. You've got to be on top of your game every second, or it's lights out for you. Senator Armstrong, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. In Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, players step into the cybernetic shoes of Raiden, a katana-wielding cyborg in a world where private military companies are causing chaos. The game is a wild spin-off from the Metal Gear series, focusing on high-speed action in a cutting system that lets you slice through virtually anything. Raiden's journey is all about fighting for what he believes, tearing through enemies with a blend of stealth, strategy, and pure combat prowess. Armstrong is a really tough nut to crack in this game, who puts up a fight that boils your blood. This guy isn't just your average baddie. He has nanomachines in his body that make him nearly invincible. They harden in response to damage, turning his skin into black, super tough armor. Plus, he has this crazy strength and can throw massive objects like they're nothing. You are not just fighting a man, you're up against a walking tank that can heal himself and hit back with the force of a freight train. Prepare yourself for an ultimate battle that will keep you on the edge of your toes. Malekith, the Black Blade, Elden Ring. You guys already know that this game is all about freedom, exploration, and facing off against some seriously tough bosses. It was a hit for its vast world, deep gameplay, and the way it just pulls you in. Fighting Malekith, the Black Blade, is like trying to stop a hurricane with a sword. This guy is fast and hits like a truck, and his attacks are as unpredictable as they are deadly. He has got this dark aura thing that makes him even tougher. And just when you think you have got his moves down, he pulls out something new. It is a battle that is bound to test every bit of your skill and patience.
Your final.
Ares, God of War. The God of War takes you to a brutal world of ancient mythologies, following Kratos, the Spartan warrior tricked into killing his family by Ares, the original God of War. Seeking vengeance, Kratos battles gods and monsters alike in a series of epic quests. The gameplay is a thrilling mix of hack-and-slash combat, puzzle solving, and exploration, with a heavy emphasis on narrative and cinematic presentation. Now let's focus on Ares, who is the real beast of a battle. He is not just a god, he is the God of War, loaded with powers that make him a massive threat. Ares can manipulate his size, summon weapons, and even create his own dimension to trap Kratos. He's got a whole arsenal of attacks that range from hurling fireballs to summoning clones of Kratos. You're not just fighting a god, you're up against the master of warfare, who is as cunning as he is powerful. It's a fight that's as much about wits and strategy as it is about brute strength. This character makes sure that the game remains as action-packed with a deeply engaging journey through a beautifully dark world.
貴様、誰じゃ?
俺は風待ち。呪われた血を継ぐ者だ。
なるほど。それでわしの血もこうして反応してるという。
Tekken 5, Jinpachi. Next up is Tekken 5, where the plot picks up after Tekken 4, with the Mishima Zaibatsu under new mysterious leadership after Heihachi's apparent death. Fighters worldwide are drawn into the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5, each with their own motives. The gameplay returns to its roots with faster combat and character customization, alongside 32 fighters, including 7 new ones. The game is celebrated for reviving the series' classic feel while adding new depth and variety. The antagonist is a real headache and is one of the toughest to come across. Jinpachi, the founder of the Mishima Zaibatsu, has been possessed, giving him insane power and a fiery demon form. Now he has got brutal, hard-hitting moves and can stun you with his unblockable fireballs. Plus, his belly opens up to reveal a mouth that shoots a beam, which is as weird as it is deadly. You have to be on your A game to dodge and counter his relentless onslaught, which is not as easy as it sounds. Hollow Knight, Absolute Radiance. In the game Hollow Knight, you go into the ruins of Hollow Nest, an insect kingdom afflicted by a supernatural disease. As the Silent Knight, you explore, battle enemies, and unlock new abilities in this beautifully hand-drawn Metroidvania. The game is lauded for its challenging gameplay, atmospheric world, and intricate design. But it's not all fun and games. The Absolute Radiance in Hollow Knight is a nightmare to fight because she is the ultimate form of the Radiance, with attacks that are faster and more relentless than ever. She bombards you with a barrage of light beams, swords, and spheres, requiring split-second dodging and precision. Her phases are unpredictable, and just when you think you have adapted to what she might do next, she switches up her tactics. So it is not controversial when we say that Absolute Radiance puts up a worthy fight, making the game test your limits and demanding perfect strategy. Sans, Undertale. Next we have Undertale, a game where you fall into the underground, a realm beneath Earth where monsters were banished after a war with humans. As a child named Frisk, you encounter various monsters on your journey back to the surface. The game's combat involves dodging mini-bullet hell attacks and choosing whether to kill, flee, or befriend foes, significantly affecting the story and characters. But Sans, one of the most difficult bosses, is extremely hard to put up a fight with, especially on the genocide route is awfully tough. He is the final boss who knows about your ability to reset the game and is determined to stop you. Sans is incredibly fast, dodges almost every attack, and his own attacks are super tricky and deceiving, involving complex patterns that require precise movements. His karma mechanic punishes players for aggression, making the fight a grueling test of endurance and skill. Mega Man, Yellow Devil. Mega Man takes you to a future where the heroic robot, Mega Man, battles against the evil Dr. Wily and his rogue robots. The gameplay is a classic side-scrolling action platformer where you use the Mega Buster and special weapons gained from defeating robot masters to navigate through levels and take down bosses. Each boss gives Mega Man a new weapon, adding a strategic layer to the order in which you tackle levels. The series is renowned for its challenging gameplay and innovative weapon system. The game's top boss is the Yellow Devil. Fighting off the Yellow Devil is a real test of patience and timing. This blob-like robot splits into pieces and zooms across the screen, reassembling on the other side. You've got to dodge these flying parts while waiting for the brief moment when its eye opens, which is the only time it's vulnerable. It's almost like a war that requires quickest reflexes and sharp focus of players to predict its pattern and strike at just the right moment. Alma, Ninja Gaiden. In this game, you step into the shoes of Ryu Hayabusa, a ninja avenging his clan against the evil Holy Vigurian Empire. The game is a fast-paced, action-packed platformer known for its challenging combat and intricate level design. You will use an array of weapons and ninja magic to fight through enemies and bosses in a quest for vengeance and honor. Ninja Gaiden is renowned for its difficulty, providing a rewarding experience for those who master its depths. Alma in the game is a nightmare because she's incredibly agile and unpredictable. She stays airborne, dodging attacks with ease, and bombards you with energy spheres and unblockable pillar throws. On the ground, she's just as deadly with a series of quick strikes and a devastating grab attack. Her ability to switch between aerial and ground assaults makes her one of the game's most challenging bosses, requiring perfect timing and strategy to defeat. Nemesis, Resident Evil 3. In this game, Jill Valentine, a former elite agent, navigates a T-virus-infected raccoon city, seeking a vaccine and evading the relentless bioweapon Nemesis. This survival horror remake intensifies the original with a third-person perspective, puzzle solving, and a focus on evasion and resource management. Critics praised its narrative and atmosphere, but noted its brevity and some missing elements from the original. Fighting off Nemesis is a relentless ordeal. He's a towering, unyielding force with a rocket launcher and the ability to leap great distances. His relentless pursuit, ability to mutate into more aggressive forms, and the sheer unpredictability of his attacks make every encounter a desperate struggle for survival. Sephiroth, Kingdom Hearts. This game offers you a world where Sora, a young boy, wields a keyblade to fight the darkness. He teams up with Disney characters like Donald and Goofy to travel across various realms, battling the Heartless and seeking his lost friends. The game blends action RPG elements with hack-and-slash combat, set in a universe that merges Square Enix and Disney World. This game is celebrated for its imaginative storytelling, engaging gameplay, and unique blend of beloved characters. Now let's see who is the boss that makes the game so difficult. Sephiroth, a cold and ruthless swordsman with a massive reach, presents a brutal challenge. Thanks to his iconic Masamune blade, his attacks are lightning fast and devastating, ranging from powerful slashes to magical assaults like Heartless Angel, which can nearly wipe out your health in an instant. His speed, power, and relentless assault makes him one of the toughest bosses, requiring perfect timing and strategy to defeat.
よみがえらせねばならぬ。故に赤炉。お主よ。
Ishin, the Sword Saint. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Alright, next up is Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, where you are a shinobi known as Wolf on a quest for revenge against the samurai clan that wronged you and kidnapped your lord. Set in a fictionalized Japan during the Sengoku period, the game focuses on stealth, exploration, and visceral combat, with an emphasis on boss battles. Unlike previous From Software games, Sekiro emphasizes precision and timing in its combat system, with a unique posture mechanic that leads to intense strategic duels. It is a single-player experience that's both punishing and deeply rewarding, earning acclaim for its innovative gameplay and rich setting. But fighting Ishin, the Sword Saint, is a brutally difficult task because he's a master of multiple combat styles, switching between them unpredictably. He's incredibly fast, has a wide range of deadly attacks, and his final phase introduces lightning strikes that require perfect timing to counter. His relentless aggression and high damage output make him a true test of all the skills you've honed throughout the game. Mr. X, Resident Evil 2, 2019. In the 2019 remake of Resident Evil 2, rookie cop Leon S. Kennedy and college student Claire Redfield find themselves trapped in Raccoon City amidst a devastating zombie outbreak. They must navigate the perilous city and its infested police station, uncovering dark secrets of the Umbrella Corporation along the way. The game revitalizes the classic survival horror experience with modernized gameplay featuring intense third-person combat, intricate puzzles, and a chilling atmosphere. It's lauded for its faithful yet fresh reimagining, delivering both nostalgia and new horrors. But Mr. X, also known as the T-00 Tyrant, has a record of being one of the strongest bosses who never fails to keep players on edge. He is a relentless pursuer in the game whose towering presence and near invulnerability make him a constant, menacing threat. He is programmed to track down and eliminate survivors with brutal efficiency. His ability to appear unexpectedly and his resistance to most weapons force players into a nerve-wracking game of cat and mouse, where any encounter could be fatal. His persistent stalking and the ominous sound of his footsteps create an atmosphere of dread that's hard to shake. Well, you can understand the frustration he has put us through. Radagon of the Golden Order, Elden Ring, 2022. Once again, this game is highly praised for its expansive setting, engaging gameplay, and the freedom it offers, making it a landmark title in its genre. The game's antagonist, Radagon of the Golden Order, puts up a worthy fight, but defeating him is a task. He is a god wielding a massive hammer capable of devastating attacks. His speed, power, and ability to block and reduce damage make him a relentless opponent. With a wide array of holy and physical attacks, including a deadly grab and shockwaves, he demands perfect timing and strategy. His ability to teleport and his aggressive assault patterns make the battle a true test of skill and endurance among the players. Final Fantasy VI Zeromus. Final Fantasy VI is set during a time resembling the Second Industrial Revolution. The story follows a group rebelling against an immoral military dictatorship while dealing with themes of magic, violence, and redemption. The game features 14 playable characters, each with their own arcs and focus on hope and life. Gameplay includes exploring an overworld map, towns, dungeons, and engaging in menu-based combat with a unique active time battle system. Characters can learn magic and summon powerful beings called espers. Fighting off Zeromus in Final Fantasy IV, notably not from Final Fantasy VI, is incredibly tough due to his powerful magic attacks and high HP. As the embodiment of hatred, he constantly bombards players with strong spells and can quickly change the tide of battle with his Big Bang attack, which requires precise timing and strategy to survive. Cthulhu, the World of Warcraft. Here, players enter the expansive world of Azeroth, a realm filled with magic, mystery, and endless adventure. Set in the Warcraft fantasy universe, the game occurs about 4 years after Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne. As a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, MMORPG, players create avatars to explore, fight monsters, complete quests, and interact with others. The game emphasizes cooperative play for quests and dungeons, but also offers player versus player combat. The antagonist, Cthulhu, is quite the challenge due to his status as an old god of madness and chaos. He possesses powerful attacks that can quickly overwhelm players, including a deadly eye beam and a barrage of tentacles. His ability to summon minions adds to the chaos, requiring coordinated team strategies to manage the onslaught. The fight's complexity and the need for precise execution make Cthulhu one of the most memorable and difficult raid bosses in the game. Fatalis, Monster Hunter World. In this one, you are part of the research commission dwelling into the new world, a wild place crawling with all sorts of gnarly monsters. Your job? Track him, fight him, and use what you snagged from them to craft cooler gear and tackle even bigger beasties. The game's a total revamp of the series with its seamless landscapes and super dynamic monster ecosystems. It's all about teaming up with buddies and taking down epic creatures. People love it for making the tough Monster Hunter grind more newbie friendly while while still keeping the thrill of the hunt real. Now let's talk about Fatalis. This dude is the stuff of legends, a dragon that's pretty much the final boss of final bosses. He's got a health pool that's off the charts, breathes fire like it's going out of style, and moves in ways that'll have you sweating bullets. Taking him down means you've got to be on your A-game, knowing your weapons inside out, and moving like you've got a sixth sense. It's the kind of fight that'll leave your heart racing and hands shaking, but man, is it worth it.
Round 1, fight!
M. Bison, Street Fighter 2. In this game, warriors from around the world compete in the World Warrior Tournament, each with their own personal reasons and backstories. Players engage in one-on-one close combat in a series of best 2 out of 3 matches. The game's innovative mechanics, like special moves and combo systems, set a new standard for fighting games. The game is celebrated for revolutionizing the genre and remains a beloved and influential classic. Now, speaking of the enemy, defeating M. Bison in this game is extremely difficult. As the final boss, he has a bag of dirty tricks, including devastating psycho power moves, a scorching psycho crusher, and a teleportation ability that keeps players guessing. His aggressive AI and powerful attacks make him a challenging opponent, requiring quick reflexes and strategic thinking to defeat. The Devil, Cuphead, from 2017. Cuphead, brothers Cuphead and Mugman gamble their souls away to the devil and must battle their way through a series of bosses to win them back. The game is a run-and-gun platformer with a distinctive 1930s cartoon aesthetic featuring hand-drawn animations and a jazz soundtrack. Players can use various weapons and abilities, and the game is known for its challenging difficulty. The game is praised for its unique art style and engaging, tough gameplay, making it a modern classic with a nostalgic twist. So how does the devil contribute to the toughness in the game? Well, to begin, dealing with him itself is quite the challenge. He is the game's final boss with a wide variety of unpredictable and powerful attacks. His ability to transform into various forms, each with its own set of deadly moves, keeps players on their toes. The fight ultimately requires quick reflexes, precise timing, and a lot of patience to learn his patterns and react accordingly. It's a fitting, intense battle to cap off a notoriously difficult game. Wily Capsule, Mega Man 7. Set in the 21st century, Mega Man is back in action after Dr. Wily's robot masters free him from captivity. With new allies and enemies, including the mysterious Bass and Trouble, Mega Man battles through a series of stages, each ending with a robot master. The gameplay sticks to the classic action and platforming style with updated SNES graphics and sound. Despite mixed reviews, it's seen as a competent continuation of the series, though some find it overshadowed by the innovative Megamax X. But let's not move our focus from the antagonist, Wily Capsule. Fighting off the Wily Capsule really gets to your nerves. Wily is known for its unpredictable teleportation and cloaking, making it hard to track and hit. It launches powerful, fast-moving energy balls that can quickly deplete Mega Man's health. Its high difficulty is intentional, designed to be an extreme final challenge, often requiring perfect timing and strategy to overcome. Virgil, Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening, from 2005. Alright, here we have Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening, where you are thrown into the younger days of Dante, who's busy minding his own business when a mysterious tower and his estranged brother, Virgil, pop up. It is all about family drama, power, and a battle to prevent the demonic world from merging with ours. The gameplay is a stylish, fast-paced hack-and-slash adventure where you get to juggle enemies with a variety of weapons and pull off some seriously cool moves. It's a fan favorite for its intense action, deep story, and the introduction of the now iconic combat battle system. Now let's look at the boss that steals all thunder, Virgil. It's like going up against a mirror of Dante himself. He's fast, relentless, and every bit as skilled as our hero. He's got this cool, calm demeanor, but don't let that fool you. He will slice through the air with his katana, Yamato, unleashing devastating combos and judgment cuts. His ability to adapt and counter your moves makes him a formidable adversary. You need to be on your toes, anticipate his attacks, and strike with precision. Virgil challenges you to a duel that tests all your skills and keeps you coming back for more. Necron, Final Fantasy IX. From 2000, Final Fantasy IX offers players to go into a medieval fantasy world called Gaia, where a thief named Zidane Tribal kidnaps Princess Garnet of Alexandria. The plot thickens as they join forces with a diverse cast to confront Garnet's mother, Queen Brane, who's ignited a war. The game is a nostalgic nod to the series' roots, with its medieval setting and classic RPG elements, featuring active time event, cutscenes, and a unique skill system. The game is celebrated for its engaging story, charming characters, and the return to a more traditional Final Fantasy experience. The boss, Necron, in the game puts up a fight that will make you crave a win. This final boss, symbolizing death itself, emerges with a goal to obliterate all existence. Necron's arsenal includes devastating attacks like Grand Cross, causing multiple status ailments, and Neutron Ring, dealing massive damage. It's unpredictable and powerful onslaught, coupled with philosophical musings on life and death, make it a memorable and one of the strongest adversaries that tests players' resilience and strategy to the limits. Ravenbeak, Metroid Dread, 2021. In this one, you step into the shoes of bounty hunter Samus Aran, investigating a mysterious transmission on the planet ZDR, only to face a deadly new threat. The game retains the classic side-scrolling Metroid gameplay while introducing stealth elements and new abilities. Samus must navigate through a dangerous world, avoiding the relentless EMMI robots and uncovering the planet's secrets. Metroid Dread is acclaimed for its thrilling action and suspenseful atmosphere, marking a triumphant return for the series. Ravenbeak, the hardest boss of Metroid Dread, challenges you with a dreadful and exciting fight. He's a powerful Chozo warrior with a wide range of attacks, including devastating energy blasts and quick punishing strikes. His ability to adapt and counter your moves makes him a relentless foe. The battle is a true test of all the skills and abilities you've honed throughout the game, requiring precision, strategy, and quick reflexes. Just when you think you've got him, you will find yourself humbled quickly by his power. Mike Tyson, Punch-Out! 1987. Punch-Out! Is all about challenging fights, quirky characters, and addictive gameplay. You, as a player, step into the boxing shoes of Little Mac, a small but mighty fighter aiming for the top. He battles through the ranks of the World Video Boxing Association, facing off against a colorful cast of opponents. The gameplay is a mix of timing, strategy, and quick reflexes, with players needing to dodge, block, and land punches to knock out their rivals. Here, Mike Tyson is eager to kick buttocks. As he is the final boss, defeating him is quite tough and an ultimate test of your skill set. For the first 90 seconds, he throws one-hit knockdown uppercuts. Even if you block these, you will take significant damage. After that, his attacks vary but remain incredibly fast and powerful. His unpredictable timing and the sheer speed of his punches make him a worthy opponent, requiring perfect timing and quick reflexes to stand a chance. Otakamaru, Neo 2 from 2020. In Neo 2, you are a half-human, half-supernatural yokai warrior in a war-torn feudal Japan filled with demons. The game expands on its predecessor with a new yokai shift ability, allowing players to unleash their inner demon for powerful attacks. The combat is deep and customizable, with a variety of weapons and skills to master. Neo 2 is praised for its challenging gameplay, complex mechanics, and richly detailed world. The final boss, boss, Otakemaru, presents a brutal test of skill among the players. He is a legendary yokai with immense power, capable of using multiple elemental attacks and summoning storms. His ability to change forms and unleash a barrage of different powerful attacks makes him unpredictable. His final form is particularly deadly, with all three swords active, allowing for a devastating sword rain and spinning sword combo. Quick reflexes and strategic use of your yokai abilities are crucial to surviving and defeating this enemy.
I will show you why I am the most powerful practitioner of psychokinesis and telepathy in the world. No, there's no need for words.
Psycho Mantis, Metal Gear Solid. In this game, you as a player will control Solid Snake, a soldier infiltrating a nuclear facility to neutralize a terrorist threat. The game blends stealth with action-adventure, requiring players to avoid detection and engage in combat with enemies. It is known for its cinematic cutscenes and voice acting. Metal Gear Solid is highly celebrated for popularizing the stealth genre and its in-depth narrative, becoming one of the most iconic and influential video games. But the game's antagonist, Psycho Mantis, is super difficult to deal with due to his ability to read through the player's actions, preemptively striking or dodging any attacks you might think of. He breaks the fourth wall by making the controller vibrate and pretending to turn off the TV. His unpredictable attacks and psychic abilities, coupled with the need for players to physically switch controller ports to disrupt his mind reading, make him a uniquely challenging and memorable opponent in gaming history.
This is going to be just like the old days, except this time everything will go according to my plan.
Dr. Neo Cortex, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, from 2020. In this game, Crash Bandicoot and his sister Coco go on a quest to recover the all-powerful quantum masks to prevent Dr. Neo Cortex and Dr. Nefarious Tropy from taking over the multiverse. They are aided by their former enemy Dingodile and an alternate dimension version of Crash's old girlfriend Tawna. The game retains core platforming elements, introducing new features with the quantum masks, which alter levels and provide new ways to traverse obstacles. Players can control 5 characters, each with unique gameplay, and engage in various modes for replay value. A vibrant continuation of the classic series, blending nostalgic gameplay with fresh mechanics and engaging multi-dimensional adventures. The game puts you against Dr. Neo Cortex, and overcoming him is simply difficult due to his high intelligence and technological prowess. He avoids direct combat, preferring to use his inventions and minions to battle. His unpredictable nature and ability to create complex traps and enemies make him a formidable foe. His relentless pursuit of world domination and personal vendetta against Crash add to the intensity of their confrontations, making each fight with Cortex a test of both wit and skill. Galdera, the Fallen, Octopath Traveler, from 2018. Set in the land of Orstera, this game follows 8 heroes, each with their own quests and motivations, as they journey through a world created by 13 deities. Their paths intertwine as they confront the fallen god Galdera, sealed away by the other deities. Players choose from 8 characters, each with unique abilities and storylines. The game features HD 2D graphics, a turn-based battle system with a break and boost mechanic, and a variety of character classes and path actions. Combining story and strategy, Octopath Traveler weaves an engaging RPG experience with its unique characters and innovative combat. Here you would have to face Galdera, who is one of the strongest enemies due to its immunity to 2 random weaknesses, each break cycle and invulnerability, while its parts, the Abyssal Maw, Lieblack, or the Blade of the Fallen, are alive. It gains 3 actions per turn once these are defeated. Galdera's Veil of Darkness makes it immune to damage, break, debuffs, and status conditions until all extremities are defeated. Its ability to remove status debuffs for augmentations, increase speed and attack, and unleash devastating attacks like Banish Soul and Eternal Void, along with a high HP pool, makes it a challenging and complex battle. Shadow Queen, Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door from 2004. In this segment of Paper Mario, Mario is set on a journey to rescue Princess Peach and uncover the mystery of the 1,000-Year Door, a legendary treasure in Rogueport. Along the way, he gathers crystal stars to thwart the X-Nauts and their leader, Grodus, who plan to unleash the ancient demon, the Shadow Queen. The game smoothly combines RPG elements with a unique 2D paper aesthetic. Players explore, solve puzzles, and engage in turn-based battles, enhancing Mario's abilities with badges and teaming up with diverse partners. The Shadow Queen is a strong opponent due to her high HP and powerful attacks that can pierce defenses, drain HP, and inflict various status ailments. She can also boost her attack and defense, making her even more resilient. Her ability to summon hands that attack separately adds to the complexity of the battle. Additionally, her strongest attacks require perfect timing and strategy to avoid, making the fight a tough and strategic endeavor. Zero, Drakengard 3 from 2013. Drakengard, known in Japan as Drag on Dragoon, is a series of action role-playing games created by Yoko Taro. It kicked off in 2003 on the PlayStation 2 and has expanded with sequels, a prequel, and spin-offs, including the Nier series. These games are known for their dark, mature themes and multiple endings, focusing on a small group of characters deeply affected by the unfolding events. Set in a dark fantasy world reminiscent of Northern Europe, where mythical creatures and humans coexist, the series has been praised for its complex characters and storylines. While the gameplay has seen some criticism, the narrative depth and world building have garnered a cult following in Japan. The game puts you up against Zero, who is seriously one tough boss. And here's why. She is an intoner, which means she's got these wild magic powers she controls by singing, imagining belting out a tune and causing chaos. That's her. She's on a mission to smash this evil flower that gave her these powers and wants to use her to wipe out humanity. Talk about family drama. She's even hunting down her own Itona sisters because of it. Some folks might not get her, but others totally dig her unique style and the way she shakes things up. Zero's not just strong, she's a standout boss who brings something different to the table. Nick's avatar, Persona 3 from 2006. In Persona 3, players take on the role of a high school student who joins the Specialized Extracurricular Execution Squad (SEES) to explore the Dark Hour, a hidden time period between one day and the next. They battle shadows using personas, manifestations of their psyche. The gameplay is a blend of traditional RPG combat and social simulation. Players manage their daily life, attending school and building relationships, while also exploring Tartarus and battling shadows during the Dark Hour. Nick's avatar is the boss who takes away the peace of mind from players due to its 14 different phases, each representing a different arcana with unique abilities and resistances. Well, you can only imagine the frustration it puts us through. It attacks twice each turn, and its final form, Death, has a massive 6,000 HP. Its Moonless Gown skill reflects all attacks, including Almighty, for 3 turns, while Night Queen inflicts heavy damage and random status effects, making the battle a prolonged and strategic ordeal. The fight's length and the boss's changing tactics require players to adapt constantly and manage resources carefully. Emerald Weapon, Final Fantasy VII. This game has set new standards for storytelling, gameplay, and visuals, leaving a lasting legacy on gaming. Meet Cloud Strife, a mercenary who joins an eco-terrorist group to stop the mega-corporation Shinra from exploiting the planet's life essence. The quest evolves into a pursuit of Sephiroth, a superhuman intent on becoming a god by harming the planet. It combines traditional RPG elements with a unique materia system for character customization and abilities. Features an active time battle system and exploration across a vast world with various modes of play. Now let's talk about Emerald Weapon, one of the strongest superbosses due to its massive 1 million HP and devastating Air Tam Storm attack, which deals damage based on the amount of materia equipped. It has a 20-minute time limit for the battle, which can be bypassed with the underwater materia. Emerald Weapon follows a specific attack pattern, including powerful moves like Emerald Beam and Revenge Stamp, and it can revive its eyes to perform magical attacks. Its sheer power, coupled with the need for strategic materia management and time constraint, makes it one of the toughest challenges in the game. Hades. Hades 2020. In this game, Zagreus, the son of Hades, seeks to escape the underworld and reach his mother, Persephone. Aided by Olympian gifts and underwater inhabitants, his journey unfolds through the realms of Tartarus, Asphodel, Elysium, and the Temple of Styx. The gameplay is roguelike action RPG with hack-and-slash combat. Players navigate through randomly generated rooms, battling enemies with a mix of weapon attacks, special abilities, and dashes. Death is frequent, but each attempt is a step towards stronger abilities and deeper story revelations. So how is it like fighting off Hades? The boss's godly powers and cunning nature is quite the challenge to go again. His control over fire and ability to manipulate reality through deals make him a dangerous adversary. His anger fuels his fiery attacks, and his immortality means he can't be easily defeated. Additionally, his command over the dead and creatures of the underworld, along with his strategic mind, make confronting him a perilous challenge. His unpredictable mood swings from calm and collected to explosively furious add an element of unpredictability to any battle against him. Dracula, Castlevania. The series primarily follows the Belmont clan as they battle the vampire Dracula and his forces of darkness. Each generation of Belmonts confronts Dracula, who resurrects every 100 years in his castle filled with demonic creatures. The gameplay is a smooth combination of platforming and action-adventure elements. Players use the vampire killer whip, sub-weapons, and items to navigate Dracula's castle, defeat enemies, and solve puzzles. Later games incorporate RPG elements and a non-linear exploration style known as Metroidvania. Here you face off Dracula, who is a cunning adversary due to his immense dark powers and immortality. As the Lord of Vampires, he possesses superhuman strength, speed, and the ability to summon and control creatures of the night. His ability to resurrect makes him a recurring threat. Each battle with Dracula is a test of strategy and skill, as he often changes forms, each more powerful and unpredictable than the last, requiring players to adapt quickly and exploit his weaknesses. His mastery over dark magic and the unpredictable nature of his attacks make every encounter a deadly challenge. Taboo, Super Smash Bros. Brawl 2008. Super Smash Bros. Brawl is the third installment in the popular crossover fighting series. It introduces a larger roster of characters, including third-party fighters, each aiming to knock opponents off various stages. Unlike traditional fighters, characters don't have health bars, but instead accumulate damage, represented as a percentage. As this percentage increases, characters are sent flying further when hit, risking a knockout if they fly off the screen. The game features a unique single-player mode called the Subspace Emissary, a side-scrolling adventure with a plot-driven narrative. Brawl also supports multiplayer battles for up to 4 players and was the first in the series to offer online play. With its diverse character moves, including powerful final smashes and a variety of items and stages, Brawl is celebrated for its entertaining gameplay and has become a beloved title in the series. Taboo is the main antagonist and final boss in Super Smash Bros. Brawl's adventure mode, the Subspace Emissary. As a godlike entity embodying the dimension of subspace, he is a force to be reckoned with. His goal is nothing short of universal conquest and subjugation. To achieve this, Taboo uses subspace bombs to capture entire locations, absorbing their power to boost his own. His name, a twist on the word taboo, hints at his forbidden and powerful nature. As the leader of the subspace army, Taboo's presence and actions pose a significant threat, making him a central figure in the game's storyline and a memorable villain in the Super Smash Bros. Dr. Carl's Robot, Cuphead. Alright, what is this game about? Cuphead and his brother Mugman, after losing a bet with the devil at his casino, must collect soul contracts from runaway debtors to save their own souls. Their journey takes them across Inkwell Isles, facing various foes and challenges. It is a run-and-gun game with a focus on boss battles, featuring hand-drawn animations and a jazz soundtrack. Players navigate through levels, use a variety of weapons, and can parry certain attacks to fill a special meter for powerful moves. Now, why is this boss, Dr. Carl's Robot, so difficult to fight with? Dr. Carl's Robot challenges us with its multi-phase battle and the variety of attacks it employs. Each part of the robot has its own attack pattern and and health pool, requiring players to strategically dismantle it piece by piece. The fight demands precise maneuvering and quick reaction times, especially as the robot's attacks become more aggressive and unpredictable in later phases. The combination of managing multiple threats, adapting to changing attack patterns, and the sheer length of the battle makes Dr. Karl's robot one of the toughest bosses in Cuphead. Yasmat, Final Fantasy XII. This next game is all about a real-time battle where the boss just does not let us chill. In the world of Ivalice, the kingdom of Dalmasca is caught between the warring empires of Arcadia and Rosaria. After Dalmasca's annexation, Princess Ashe leads a resistance movement joined by Van, an adventurer dreaming of becoming a sky pirate, and other allies to fight against the tyranny of the Arcadian Empire. Gameplay-wise, you're in for an open world and a seamless, active dimension battle system, allowing players to move freely and attack in real time. The Gambit system lets players program AI behaviors, while the License system manages character abilities and equipment. The superboss, Yasmat, is extremely tough due to its staggering 50 million HP, the highest in the game. The battle can last several hours, testing players' endurance and strategy. Yasmat has a wide array of powerful attacks, including Cyclone, which can inflict multiple status ailments, and Death Strike, which can instantly kill a character. Its ability to regenerate and increase its defense as its health decreases prolongs the fight further. The sheer length and difficulty of the battle, combined with Yasmat's devastating attacks and high defense, make it a true test of a player's patience as well as skill. Ender Dragon, Minecraft. Who isn't familiar with Minecraft? It doesn't have a specific plot. It's a sandbox game where players create their own experiences. Set in a blocky, procedurally generated world, players explore, build, and survive in various environments. Gameplay-wise, players mine resources, craft items, build structures, and combat various mobs. Modes range from survival, where players manage health and resources, to creativity, where they have unlimited resources and can fly. Ender Dragon is the final boss in Minecraft, who presents a significant challenge due to its high health and powerful attacks. It's immune to most status effects and can only be damaged in specific areas, requiring precise hits. The dragon is constantly healed by ender crystals atop obsidian pillars, which players must destroy while dodging attacks. Its dragon breath attack creates lingering areas of damage, and it can launch players into the air, potentially causing fatal fall damage. The combination of its aggressive behavior, healing crystals, and the need for strategic combat makes the Ender Dragon a notable and strong adversary. Muru, World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft, WoW, is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game set in the Warcraft universe. Players create avatars and explore Azeroth, a richly detailed world filled with monsters, quests, and adventures. Released in 2004 by Blizzard Entertainment, WoW has become one of the most iconic MMORPGs, offering a deep, immersive experience through its complex lore, character progression, and expansive world. Players can choose between the Alliance or Horde factions, each with unique races and classes. The game focuses on leveling up characters, completing quests, engaging in dungeons and player versus player combat, and forming alliances with other players. With 9 major expansions, WoW has continued evolving, adding new content and stories, keeping the world dynamic and engaging. Its success lies in its ability to foster a vast, active community and its enduring appeal over many years. The antagonist, Muru, who was once a resident of Tempest Keep alongside Oros, was captured by Kael'thas, Sunstrider's forces, and taken to Silvermoon City. There, the blood of elf magisters harnessed his energies, using him as a power source for the Blood Knight's order to siphon the light. This exploitation transformed Muru into a void god, leading to his eventual defeat. Prophet Velen later used Muru's heart to rejuvenate the Sunwell, mixing its energies with both arcane and holy powers. Muru's story is a tragic tale of manipulation and redemption, illustrating the complex moral landscape of the Warcraft universe and the profound consequences of power and sacrifice. His legacy continues to influence the Blood Elves, particularly the Blood Knights, who now draw their power from the revitalized Sunwell. Absolute Virtue. Final Fantasy XI. Set in the world of Vana'diel, players embark on adventures, joining one of 3 nations to combat the resurrected Shadow Lord and later face threats like the Zilard Princes and the Twilight god Promethea. The story unfolds through missions and quests, revealing complex lore and a rich history. This game would be your go-to, where you can customize characters, select jobs, and ally with others. It features real-time battles, a vast world, and a focus on player cooperation for quests, missions, and defeating powerful enemies. Now let's talk about Absolute Virtue, who is super difficult due to its immense health pool and powerful attacks. It employs a wide range of abilities borrowed from other notorious monsters, each with devastating effects. The battle is further complicated by its ability to fully heal itself, forcing players to not only be aggressive but also incredibly strategic and persistent. Initially, players struggled with fights lasting many hours due to their complex mechanics and the sheer endurance required, making Absolute Virtue a legendary challenge in the game's history. Dark Link, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. The Adventure of Link takes you on a venture to save Princess Zelda, who is under a sleeping spell. He must traverse Hyrule, placing crystals in palaces to unlock the path to the Great Palace and the Triforce of Courage. A significant departure from its predecessor, featuring side-scrolling action and RPG elements like experience points. Link battles foes, learns magic spells, and converses with NPCs across a dual-mode world of top-down and side-scrolling views. A bold and challenging departure from the original, blending RPG mechanics with side-scrolling action to create a unique Zelda experience. But we face Dark Link in the game, who is the final boss, because he mirrors all of Link's abilities, making him as quick and powerful as the player. He requires precise timing to damage due to his rapid attack and defense moves. Regardless of Link's sword level, Dark Link always takes 8 hits to defeat, demanding consistent skill and strategy. His ability to mimic the player's moves creates a battle that's not just about strength, but also about outsmarting oneself, making it a memorable and challenging confrontation. Wizpig, Diddy Kong Racing. In this game, Timber the Tiger and friends organize a race on their island, but their fun is interrupted by Wizpig, an intergalactic pig wizard who conquers the island. The group must defeat Wizpig in various races using cars, hovercraft, and planes to save their home. Players choose from multiple characters and vehicles to race across different worlds, collecting power-ups and facing bosses. The game includes an adventure mode, battle stages, and various multiplayer options. But it's not a smooth ride for you, as you are put against Wizpig due to his incredible speed and the precision required to beat him. Players must navigate courses flawlessly, utilizing every boost and avoiding every obstacle, as even minor mistakes can cost the race. His intimidating presence and the high stakes of the races against him adds to the difficulty, making each victory against Wizpig both a relief and a triumph. Through the Fire and Flames, Guitar Hero 3. Well, we have made it to the last item on the list of today's episode. In this game, the band starts as a neighborhood sensation and gains worldwide fame. However, upon attempting to break a shady contract with producer Lou, they discover he's the devil. They are forced to battle him in the netherworld to regain their souls and return as rock legends. Now, speaking of gameplay, players use a guitar-shaped controller to simulate playing rock songs by hitting notes in time with on-screen prompts. The game features single-player, co-op, career modes, and competitive challenges, including online multiplayer. To be honest, this one is a rock-solid rhythm game that challenges your fingers and will have you playing air guitar long after you put the controller down. But here's the twist. This song by Through the Fire and Flames by Dragon Force is notorious for its difficulty due to its intense speed and complex note patterns. The intro, full of rapid hammer-ons and pull-offs, often causes players to fail within the first 5%. The song also features the Red Snake section, with about 26.6 notes per second, requiring extremely fast and precise hammer-ons and pull-offs. Its overall technical demand and speed make it a legendary challenge even for seasoned players. Marvelous verdicts. And that's a wrap, folks. We've made it through the top 50 hardest and strongest bosses in video games, and what a ride it's been. From Melania's relentless onslaught to the strategic chaos of Cthulhu, these bosses have tested our mettle, patience, and sometimes even our will. Whether you've vanquished them all or are still honing your strategies, one thing's for sure. These encounters are the moments that define us as gamers, pushing us beyond our limits and leaving us with stories we'll never forget. So what's your take? Did the boss that keeps you up at night make the list? Drop a comment below with a battle that still has your heart racing, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more epic gaming content.